You may have heard the publicity throughout the past week or two of some 48 bands that are here today. Not all of them get up that early to come for the parade because they have to be in line by 7 a.m. So some get here in time for the auxiliary competition that's in the high school gym, and others are just here for the field show competition, which will be at the C.F. Russell Stadium. All of that later today. I believe I understood one of the committee people working with helping the bands today anticipate 85 school buses and 70 equipment trailers.
Wow, and I know this morning while doing the sign-on, the early shift at the radio station, I saw several of those school buses and trailers making their way into town that were coming from the west.
Yeah, they were backed up on the traffic there. Well, let's recognize the entries, leading off with the police, Jeanette.
Yes, the Trenton Police Department leading the parade, and the welcome banner just behind them announcing the 2012 Missouri Day Festival Parade sponsored by the Trenton Rotary Club. The theme of this year's parade, The Sounds of Freedom, a tribute to our military, and the banner is being carried by children of military veterans.
And there are several out there, 8 or 9 of them. We appreciate all that they do to serve our country.
Yes, and I see some local military families and they're walking with them this morning.
As we enter into our viewing location is going to be the Trenton High School Band under the direction of Tim Gillum. And of course, that's an annual event that they will be leading the Missouri Day Parade. Auxiliary sponsors, Kelly Griffith, drum major, Briley Roy. Trenton will be performing an exhibition. Parade music today is Night on Bald Mountain. And getting closer. We appreciate all the efforts for the Trenton Golden Bulldog Marching Band. They've done very well in other competitions. This kind of concludes their marching band season with the Missouri Day Festival. I know they've been in competitions into Iowa and southwest Missouri and in the Kansas City area, and have done very well at each of those locations.
And here comes the Trenton Band, the Marching Bulldogs.
Dressed in the traditional black and gold, the Trenton Bulldogs Marching Band. Next entry
is the Missouri National Guard. Grand Marshals of the 2012 parade is our military, represented by the 548th Transportation Unit based right here in Trenton.
So they have quite a few military vehicles that will be coming through, all in National Guard green. Or camouflage, maybe that's a better term.
And it is wonderful to see them out here this morning.
They are, as you say, the Grand Marshals. Not any one person in particular, just the whole 548th unit at Trenton.
And it's good to have them back home.
Very definitely. And glad to hear that their mission was successful, at least in terms of, no serious injury and certainly no death or anything like that, because Afghanistan, Iraq, those are certainly very troubled countries. And I can't begin to describe what any of these are, but we do know it is a transportation company, and I would suggest that a lot of these vehicles are used in transporting goods and services.
Yes, I do believe they call themselves the Road Warriors.
Deservingly so. I didn't count how many entries, but we have one entry after another.
I believe this is the third or fourth vehicle to go past us right now. I would say that one is a fuel tanker.
Shaped like it anyway.
The words flammable down the side of it.
Those that are watching on the internet may know better.
They may.
how we're having a good time when we're just getting underway with what promises to be an excellent parade. The sun came out just moments before the parade started. So what a glorious day for a parade. Move on with some other entries following the National Guard, so we'll know what to expect.
So we have the Fort Leavenworth, Kansas Color Guard coming up, as well as a float by the Veterans of Foreign Wars, Post 919 of Trenton. Lanny Harkins is the commander there.
And several of the members are riding on the float.
And passing out candy.
Some of the children will be looking for that. Of course, they need to be supervised by a parent or guardian, or make sure they just don't get in the way.
And here comes the Grundy County Ambulance.
We appreciate their service to our county and beyond.
Yes.
Emergency medical services, always important, and they got some extra responsibilities this weekend with the huge crowds that are expected to be in town.
And here is American Legion Post 31 of Trenton. Jack Griffin, the commander there.
They have several of their members riding on the float. We appreciate their participation,
Very much so.
just like the DFW and the Guard. And let's don't forget our prisoners of war missing in action.
Right.
A
And
band, Southwest R1 of Ludlow, the Wildcat Marching Band, under the direction of Brian Duddy, drum major Matthew Bartz. The parade music today is Jump. Not very big in numbers, but they sound very good.
they sound wonderful this morning.
And they're from the first one in Class 1 to come into view.
And here is the Trenton Rotary Club with their float. You can tell they spent some time on that, getting that ready for the Missouri Day Parade. That looks good.
They have the rotary wheel, service above self, and certainly following the theme. And we appreciate, in fact, virtually every member of our 50 to 60 member club has something to do today, including myself.
I can imagine. And now we have from Purdon.
Lynn County R1 Mustangs, under the direction of Valerie Bowley, drum major Hannah Hoskins. The parade music will be The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
And let's see, here we have Trenton Mayor Nick McCard and Mrs. McCard, as well as their family members. Showing their support with the troops. Lots of flags in red, white, and blue on that truck. And following them, youth organization float entered by Wesley United Methodist Church of Trenton.
Van pulling their float. With a nice message, thank you to all who served.
And
Okay.
following that is Miss Missouri, Tippy. I'm going to let you say her name, John. I know
Tippy Emmett. Mhm.
Tippy Emmett of Springfield. She is a student at Drury College, majoring in communications.
And the reigning Miss Missouri, we wish her good luck when the Miss America pageant is held.
And here is the Leisure Lake Association float.
All decked out with red and blue streamers. So good to see their participation today.
Yes, and up next is an entry that we've seen for many years here that we continue to like to see. It's Bob and Betty Pritchard of Princeton driving their 1950 Dodge half-ton pickup.
And it's blue. Did you say it was blue?
No, it is blue.
Wow.
And you just can't even hardly hear that thing. It purrs like a kitten.
It shines. I don't know if there's a reason, but there's a little gap between his pickup and the previous unit and the one after them. So, taking good care of the vehicle there.
That is true.
Getting ready for more bands. The bands are being judged today while they march in the parade. There's 3 judges, one each for music, corner, or marching, and maneuvering. And then there's one for blocker general effect. Music judge is back there in the 1200 block of Main, there on the east side. Corner judge at the scaffolding at 9th and Main, obviously, to watch him make the turn. The block judge is on scaffolding between McPherson and Grant Streets, and through the State High School Activities Association, bands are divided into class size, so they'll go from class 1 up through class 5. Again, Trenton only in exhibition today, but they're entered in all the competitions. So this band must have paused at 9th and Main to do some maneuvers. So the only reason I can imagine that there would be such a gap now, a gap of over 1 block in length in the parade. We'll talk about the Bramer High School Bobcat Marching Brigade from Bramer under the direction of Kat Pagatsnik. Parade music today is Hi-Ho. So it's the Bobcat Marching Brigade from Bramer, Missouri. Also entered in Class 1.
And they've got some fancy footwork as they're making their way down 9th Street here.
As it comes into view of our video streaming audience, they'll hopefully continue to do that. Do want to thank again PDQ Cleaning Services for allowing the video streaming to be presented to those that could not make it out for the parade today, anywhere in the world. Again, Bramer High School coming into view.
And behind them is the Grundy County Republican Central Committee float with a host of candidates for the upcoming November election, along with Sheriff Rodney Herring, who is a candidate for election.
This is KTTN-FM Trenton, and we're going to be providing you continuous coverage of our Missouri Day Festival Parade throughout much of the morning. Well, here's an old-time vehicle coming up next, Jeanette, into view.
It's Harry Klingensmith of Laredo with his 1934 Ford truck, and it is green.
And it's just continuing to move right along.
It is.
Wonderful.
It says 1934 Ford Model EV.
Probably been a good work truck through the years, too.
And here is another entry from Laredo. It's Warren Kirby with his 1939 Farmall H tractor.
And red.
In red.
Farmall red.
Here's Sunnyview Nursing Home and Apartments with many of their residents from the local care facility on that float.
Looks like they have some candy to hand out.
Yes. I would say they spent some time putting together that flag that is on there, a waving flag.
As we see in a lot of parade entries, a lot of creativity exists and goes into them.
Lots of time and effort spent on those.
Coming in view after the Sunnyview van is another band. It's from Princeton High School, the Marching Tigers, directed by Mark Knoer. And their parade music today is Knoer Your Enemy. Blue and white Princeton Marching Tigers. We thank them for being here today.
Those kids got to sleep in a little bit more than most of these band kids did.
They certainly had a shorter trip, that's for sure.
Yes.
Whether they slept or not.
Very true, very true.
Because they had a big football game last night. Princeton won that game, and so the band students got up early to come to Trenton for the parade.
And here we have a entry from the Baptist Student Union located near the campus of North Central Missouri College. And looks like also maybe the NCMC baseball team, or maybe just a lot of the baseball team members are part of BSU.
Carrying U.S. flags and led by their pirate mascot. Another good time for the athletes to walk, help keep them in shape for baseball season.
Get them loosened up for that alumni game that's this afternoon.
That's right.
And here is Grandpa A's Toot Toot Train, entered by Goldine Anderson of Dawn.
This has got to be a crowd favorite. Look at that thing go.
Oh, that is absolutely adorable.
Recognizing the railroads that have served the area through the years.
And see, following them is Slugger.
Kansas City
Royal Slugger attending today's
Welcome.
parade. Sponsored by Barnes Baker Automotive of Trenton and Surfleet Healthcare.
Next band should be Polo Panther Pride, under the direction of Andrew Dunker. Auxiliary sponsor Andrea Henderson. Drum majors are Monica Thickness and Amber Adams. Parade music today, Fiesta del Toro. So let's appreciate Polos. Polo Pride with their marching band. Decked out in black, white, and green. Looking sharp.
They are. Stopped right in front of us for a little show. Looks like maybe there's a holdup earlier in the parade. We see their director watching in front of them. Make sure they have enough room to keep on going. So we get a musical treat while they do that. And behind the Polo Band is the Farmers Bank of Northern Missouri.
A wonderful float done by the staff of the bank at Trenton with employees and candy galore.
And the sound of freedom with fireworks there is their take on the sounds of freedom.
Right to Memorial Hospital, St. Luke's Health System. And they have their float entry.
Looks like some local veterans riding on their float entry there.
We appreciate their service and
We
the
have,
opportunity to be in a parade.
yes, and here is Miss North Central Missouri Fair, Lauren Fox from Laredo. She is a freshman at North Central Missouri College. She will compete in the Missouri State Fair Queen Contest next summer in Sedalia.
Riding in a convertible and looking queen-like.
Yes, she is. Following her is the Grundy County Rural Fire Department with 2 trucks and Kenny Roberts, their fire chief. Well, after a band.
Bands are inserted throughout the parade route. Your list doesn't show the bands, does it?
No, I don't know when the bands are coming up.
Okay.
I'm just winging it down here on the end.
We understand, and so you have 190 entries,
Not including
but not
bands.
including any of the bands.
That's correct.
Well, now we are above 200 if I did my math right, because I understood there's like 27 bands to come by. Take a deep breath and relax and enjoy. The band must be doing some maneuverings there at 9th and Main, but they will be coming into view here shortly, and we have a lot to tell about them, so we'll get them started. It would be Pattonsburg High School, the Panther Band, under the direction of Nancy Daniel. Auxiliary sponsors are Tuanette Hewlett and Sherry Seaver. Drum major Kelly Warford. Parade music today is Jump. Pattonsburg Panther Band goes to several parades, several homecomings, including Northwest Missouri State in Maryville, and Missouri Western Homecoming Parade in St. Joseph. Last year, this drumline received first place trophy in the Missouri Day Indoor Drumline Competition. They're already warming up, we can tell. Pattonsburg's proud to have almost half of its student body, grades 7 through 12, involved in the parade today.
Well, that is impressive.
Looks like there are quite a few members in their band.
Up next, it says it should be the Grundy County Rural Fire Department. I'm going to go with, this is Daryl Rudder of Unionville, Iowa, with his 1922 Model T Ford.
What I can do is I can maneuver around a little bit this way.
And the car's in the parade, not running, but it's being pulled on a trailer. But boy, that goes back many, what year did you say it was?
That is a 1922.
Wow, 22? Let's see, what, 90 years? Wow.
Sounds a lot like your first car, wasn't it, John?
Yeah, about mine. Mm-hmm.
Here is Caring Hearts.
Somehow I fell into that. I'm not sure why.
I tried to stop myself. I was just too there. I couldn't let it go.
Tell us who this is.
This is Caring Hearts, an organizational float from Trenton supporting healthy lifestyle and curbing domestic violence. Co-chairs of the program are Lisa Topes and Jackie Blackburn. Glad to have them in the parade this morning.
Helping to address an issue that is getting more and more attention every day, every week.
Well, and I do believe October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Oh, it's October or November, one of the two.
Who's next?
Representative Mike Lair of Chillicothe. He is a candidate for election in the 7th District this November.
Good morning.
And
Following him, oh, sorry, is Dave Spence for governor.
or an entry on his behalf.
Yes.
Casey.
Oh,
Oh, it's Casey Guernsey driving that one. Okay. And again, Casey's the current 3rd District State Representative. Coming up next, a band still in Class 1, Rockport High School, the Marching Blue Jays. They're under the direction of Effie Oldham, drum majors Tyler Young. Parade music today is On Wisconsin. This is Rockport High School's 4th time competing in the Missouri Day Marching Festival. So let's show appreciation today to Rockport High School. One of those bands, Jeanette, that had a road trip today.
yes, they did. They were up really early. I don't know if you want to say early this morning or late last night.
Again, Rockport High School in the northwest corner of the state. Stone's throw from Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas.
Right.
So,
Despite their road trip this morning, they are looking good.
definitely. Your entry.
And we have the Sullivan County Fair Queen of 2012, Miss Tara Collins from Newtown. And Tara is a 2011 graduate of the Newtown Harris High School, and she competed this past summer in the Missouri State Fair Queen contest.
Thank you for coming over and being part of the parade today.
And following her is the First Assembly of God Church in Trenton, and they have a trailer full there representing the armed forces. Remembering the price that was paid, First Assembly of God supports our troops, it says down the side of their float.
A lot of youth on there. That's an impressive entry.
Yes, it is.
We will not be able to give you any parade results as judging is being done this year up at the Adams Park Apartments as the parade units go by there. So it'll be sometime probably on our news tomorrow when we'll have those results.
And here is the current Missouri State Fair queen, Miss Emily Wood out of Palmyra. She is a student at the Mobile Tralee Area Community College. She won her title this past summer in Sedalia.
Thank you, Emily, for being a part of the parade. Next band, Leeton, the Marching Bulldogs under the direction of Andy Weldon, auxiliary sponsor Kayla Matthews, drum major Laura Shy. And the parade music is Just Dance. Interesting note about them. They were first last year at the University of Central Missouri Homecoming Parade in Warrensburg. Second at the Missouri Day Marching Festival Parade.
We are glad to have them back this year.
Yep, definitely so.
Here is Dwayne Place of Princeton with his 1951 Super C Farmall tractor, another red International Harvester there. And I believe Dwayne was one of our open line guests this year talking about the tractor parade for Calamity Jane Days at Princeton, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Following him is Lieutenant Colonel Chester Ishmael of Trenton. He is one of our senior veterans in the parade, 91 years young. He is retired from the U.S. Air Force. So glad to have him in the parade this morning.
Another float entry.
This is the youth float from the Tyndall Christian Church.
Yep, our neighbor Jeff Jarrett driving the church's float there. The band coming into view, East Buchanan of Gower. The Golden Bulldog Marching Band of Gower under the direction of Samantha Stevens, drum majors Garrett Minson and Gabby Moravia. Parade music today is Rockin' Robin and the East Buchanan Fight Song.
And here is the float from Magnolias in Trenton with two unique vehicles from Eddie Hutchinson of Trenton, a 1949 Mercury golf cart, as well as a 1994 Thunderbird. And they are the same.
In color.
They are the same in color. And a unique color at that.
Now the fire department.
This is the Galt Fire Rescue Department. A pumper truck and grass truck.
And some volunteers leading out front, carrying the flags. Well, it's an all-volunteer department, too. We appreciate, like all firefighters, we appreciate all that they do when called into service.
Yes, indeed. And some little firefighters in training there in that grass, or I believe that's the pumper truck, isn't it?
Now we go on to Class 2 for the bands. Sweet Springs.
Yep.
Royal Alliance of Sweet Springs under the direction of Anthony Webb. Decked out in blue and white, sounding good. The parade music, Edge of Glory. Thank you to Sweet Springs for traveling to Trenton to be part of the parade and other competitions today.
And following them is the Trenton High School Homecoming King and Queen, or just, my list says Queen, but it is the Queen and King. They were crowned just a few weeks ago at the Homecoming Festival, or festivities in Trenton. The Queen is Rachel Horner. We have her name. Mr. Spielman is the King.
Another entry. another float.
And this is St. Luke's Home Care and Hospice based out of Chillicothe.
Four or five motorcycle riders after them.
And looks like these are the Combat Vets Association riding with them. Following them is the Trenton High School cheerleaders.
Had a lot to cheer about last night, a big Bulldog victory on the football field.
Yes. Glad to have them up and with us this morning in the parade.
The mascots,
Following them, Trenton High School Bulldog mascots, coached by our very own David Mercubile.
one Bulldog standing and another one sitting. Okay, the next band is North Platte High School, the Panther Pride Marching Band out of Dearborn, Missouri. And there's a lot of them. Just a quick note about them. The Panther Pride's under the direction of Chris Kaufman. Auxiliary sponsor, Hailey Albers. Drum majors, Stephanie Parkhurst and Jamie Birgo. Parade music is Every Teardrop is a Waterfall. Last year, the North Platte Band was first in the Northwest Missouri State Homecoming Parade at Maryville. So our thanks to North Platte of Dearborn.
And here is the Trenton High School FFA float.
Dinner bells.
And behind them is the youth float by Shipwrecked Youth of the Spickard Baptist Church. They're in a shiny blue truck.
Golf cart entry.
That is the Trenton Ambassadors, auxiliary organization of the Trenton Chamber of Commerce. And following them is the Trenton Elks and Missouri Elks Lodge organizations.
Elroy back again.
There's
Elroy Elks say no to drugs and stop the violence. A convertible with some more dignitaries.
Looks like some more Elks there in that Grand Prix convertible, a classic Grand Prix convertible.
They got to throw extra hard to reach up to our broadcast booth, don't
I think they were trying too.
Penny High School? No, Putnam.
Putnam County.
Eyesight again. Class 2 band, Putnam County High School of the Marching Midgets of Unionville, Missouri, under the direction of Jessica Nance. Auxiliary sponsor, Terry Perkins. Drum majors, Jennifer Anderson and Kristen Cullen. Parade music's On the Edge of Glory and Viva La Vida. Again from Putnam County of Unionville. Oh, blue and white, looking good, sounding good. We wish all the bands good luck in their competitions today. Who's next?
Oh, it says Citizens Bank and Trust of Trenton. Glad to have them in the parade this morning.
Another convertible with bright red colors.
And then they have the Dollar Dog group from CB&T, a float with some kids being pulled there, and the Dollar Dog mascot.
Maysville, the next band in Class 2, the Wolverines, are under the direction of Mallory Mahon, auxiliary sponsor Dana Walling. Thank you to Maysville for being with us today. The Wolverine Marching Band.
Let's see, up next we have the Livingston County 2012 Fair Royalty. Lacey Rucker of Tina is the princess, Kaylee Lewis of Chillicothe the junior princess, and Courtney Nelson of Hale is the Clover princess. Glad to have all three of those girls here this morning.
You're listening to the parade coverage on KTTN FM in Trenton. I'm John Anthony, along with Jeanette McBee, and we're broadcasting from the parking lot of Autoglass Plus. And those of you viewing our video coverage, that is courtesy of Phyllis Dybo and the staff at PDQ Cleaning Services of Trenton. So we appreciate her sponsorship for the video and all 15 or so for the audio coverage on KTTN.
And now we have the Liberty Baptist Church Youth of Trenton organizational float, and their float is being pulled by a semi this morning.
They go all out. It's real good.
Go big or go home.
Thank you for our freedom and your sacrifice, a message to the troops, and lots of banners on that entry.
I believe they have a flag there for all branches of our armed forces.
Another break in the parade gives us time to recognize some of the sponsors that helped bring us our parade here on KTTN. There's a lot more to come.
Thank you to Trenton Hy-Vee Food Store, Hoffman and Reed, Crow Walker Insurance, North Central Missouri Mental Health Center, and Dave's Body Shop.
Other thanks to Flowers by Sarah, T&L CarQuest, Morris Home Center, and Anderson's Auto Body.
As well as thanks to Honey Creek Veterinary Clinic, Servalink Home Care, the People's Co-op, and Mr. Tire, Klingon Smith's Home Center, and Lockridge Constant and Conrad CPAs.
And of course here, another special thanks to the Rotary Club and for helping get all this organized, providing us our scripts here to give you a little more information about the parade entries, and also to Buddy and Carla Hannaford for all they do to help organize the Marching Band Festival that's part of the day, and including all the information on the participating bands as they are here for the parade this morning. I believe there was 27 bands that have been counted. Other bands, some of these will also take part in other activities. Some come later today to participate in the indoor competitions or out at C.F. Russell Stadium with the field show. And they're going to have a glorious afternoon for field show events. Temperatures about 60 degrees.
Yep. And lots of hard work goes into putting on the band festival, the parade, as well as all the activities out at the Rock Barn. And a huge thank you to all the people that do that.
I believe there are as many as 200 vendors that'll be crowded in and around the fairgrounds area. And some of them are crafters, some have flea markets, many of them are selling food.
That is what I go for.
Next band is from Gallatin High School, the Bulldog Pride Band, under the direction of Mr. Gene Edwards. Auxiliary sponsors Hannah Woodward, drumline sponsor Nathaniel Wiemeyer, drum major Chad Robertson. Parade music today is Rock and Roll Medley, Hey Song, Georgia on My Mind, on Broadway, Hawaii 5-0. I guess take your pick. The Gallatin Bulldog Pride Band has been to Washington, D.C. for an Independence Day parade, been to the Cotton Bowl parade in Dallas, Texas, been to Branson Onstage Live, and to the Missouri Music Educators Conference at Tentara.
We are very happy to have the Gallatin Band here this morning.
We rank right up there with some of those other venues.
Exactly.
So thank you, Gene Edwards, for you've been there many years, and the band looking great, sounding great.
passing along with them is one of the entries that got tied up from earlier. It is Mike Smith, candidate for sheriff, just now making its way to us. And behind them is Jack Albers of Trenton with his 1940 Farmall B red International Harvester tractor there.
And a little helper along the way.
Yeah. Some candy for the kids. And up next is another very special entry, Jay Ratliff of Trenton, another one of our senior military veterans being saluted in the parade today. And Jay is 90 years young. It says 90 years, 4 months, and 18 days.
World War II veteran. Here comes a float entry.
This is the Pi Mu Epsilon sorority of North Central Missouri College. Their sponsor is Judy Kidd.
Giving recognition to many of the wars that have been fought by our soldiers through the years. Barnes Baker.
Muddy the Mudcat, official mascot of the Chillicothe Mudcats baseball team. Following him is a tractor driven by Dwayne DeMoss of Princeton, the 1958 John Deere 730 gas tractor.
In John Deere green.
John Deere green.
Brookfield High School, the Marching Blue, under the direction of Jennifer Rubin. Auxiliary sponsor Shayna Holton. Parade music today will be Candyman. So that's the Marching Blue from Brookfield, Missouri.
Here we have the First Baptist Church of Princeton Youth Group entry. It's a tribute to our soldiers. And following them is an entry from the Grand River Technical School in Chillicothe. The students built a 1923 two-bucket roadster.
Looking good, sounding good.
It is.
Talented group. And it's just perking right along.
It is.
Okay, the next band's out of Maryville, the Marching Spoof Hounds. They're under the direction of Burke Schaus. They're from Maryville, and the assistant director and auxiliary sponsor, Amanda Schaus. Drumline sponsor, John Chapman. Parade drum major, Nicole Bickford. Parade music, School's Out. In April, they marched in the Magic Kingdom March in Walt Disney World. So, quite an honor for the Maryville Band.
And here we have the 2012 Miss Calamity Jane, Miss Shaylee Henley of Princeton. She was crowned last month. Here's the Missouri Veterans Home from Cameron with their bus in the parade. Darcy Henry is the activities director, and among the writers in the entry is Bob Allen. He is 87 and a military veteran. Glad to have them here today.
And we appreciate what all the Friends of Veterans do in helping make transportation available like that.
And up next is the entry from U.S. Bank of Trenton.
Another short gap we have in the parade, waiting on, I guess, the next band to make its way around the corner. You're listening to the parade coverage on KTTN FM in Trenton. We're sitting here in the parking lot on a viewing stand that was constructed for us. We're in the parking lot of Autoglass Plus, so we thank the staff of Autoglass Plus for allowing us to be here this morning. Many people lining up and down both sides of the street here on 9th. I'm sure they are that way on Main. And as been promoted before, the best place to see the parades anywhere west of Normal Street, because the bands are turning off at Normal to head to the high school for competitions.
And our next entry here, and it almost seems to be a lone entry as the band behind them has taken some time to maneuver around the corner, is Roll-A-Rama from Trenton. And as you might expect, their entry includes people on roller skates.
And it looks like they're handing out some free passes or water, maybe?
Yeah, looks like a free pass, and of course, looks like my kid got.
Well, they know where you'll end up sometime.
Yeah, I know, sometime soon.
And they're having no trouble. I'd have all kinds of trouble on roller skates.
They're pros.
The pros, yeah. We are waiting on the band. My schedule would have Richmond High School next. Can anybody see far away? It's almost like it's 2 blocks away from where we are now.
Well, I can tell you they are red and black.
I believe that'll be Richmond.
All right.
Marching Spartans are under the direction of Jeffrey Klymore. The auxiliary sponsors, Connie Yokman, the drum majors, Yashley, Yali, and the parade music today, Funky Town. You remember that one.
I remember that one for sure.
Oh, these are the Marching Spartans from Richmond High School, and they'll be participating today in activities for the Missouri Day Festival. And they have been a regular. They've been in the past to the Missouri Day Marching Festival. Many of these bands have participated in the past here at Trenton. They know what a good operation it is put on by the Hannafords and their committees, and they want to come back. We do have some new ones this year. I think 6 or so are brand new, first time ever competitors in any of the events for Missouri Days, and this is the 16th year that the band festival has been part of this 3rd weekend in October. Sounds like Funky Town to me.
Yes, it does. Time now for another musical treat for us.
Got it down to almost perfection. Do you want to get out in the street? Will Carly get out in the street and dance a little bit?
She's busting a move over there as it is. As you might guess, John.
Yeah.
We have dance parties in our kitchen all the time.
All the time. We've been remiss in not recognizing the efforts of those people along the streets waving U.S. flags. 3,500 flags are lining the parade route and at the fairgrounds. They were sold in a fundraiser by the Rotary Club. Funky Town from the Richmond High School Band. Here's some older cars now.
This is Zach McClure of rural Trenton with his 1952 Packard. And that beauty is canary yellow.
Looking good. Very good.
And following him is Dr. Phil McClure of Trenton in his 1931 Packard. It is a real privilege for our parade to have 2 vintage vehicles, like the 2 Packards entered by the McClure family.
And they're rolling along just nicely, you know.
Let's see, following those is the Trenton High School softball team with Coach John Cowling. This team won district and sectional championships this year. Congratulations to those young ladies and their coaches.
And they were first in the state playoffs and just perhaps one more walk away or one run away from tying a game that Maybe they could have won in extra innings. Who knows?
And here is the Ruledale Baptist Church youth saying, "God bless our troops."
Next band from Hallsville, it's the Indian Pride Marching Band under the direction of James West, auxiliary sponsor Terry Adkins. The parade music today is "I Don't Care." And they were here a year ago. And again from Hallsville, Missouri. I'm sorry, they were not. It's their first appearance.
Welcome to Missouri Day.
Boy, they had some snazzy uniforms there.
And up
More
next,
veterans.
yes, more, let's see, Rebecca McClanahan campaign, represented by her husband. He is a Vietnam veteran. Rebecca is a candidate for state representative from Northeast Missouri. And following that is a tractor entered by Quentin Brown of Trenton. It's a 1956 John Deere, and a restored wagon accompanying the tractor constructed by Mr. Brown.
Farmer's Apothecary, a Trenton business.
Yes, glad to have them in the parade this morning.
Lawson will be the next high school band as we continue in Class 3. The Blazing Cardinal Marching Band out of Lawson's under the direction of David Potter. Auxiliary sponsor Christy Humbard. Drum majors Miranda Sutton and Michaela Anderson. Dynamite is their parade music. It's from Lawson High School. Thank you, Lawson. Red and black from Lawson High School. So where are you on the list?
We are at 111.
We're about halfway through as far as our list of entries are concerned. And we've been at it a little more than an hour.
And we have more royalty in the parade here. This is the Princeton High School homecoming king and queen. The king is Talon Place and queen is Lexi Sweeten. They are both seniors at the Princeton High School.
And we appreciate all the area counties that have participated by sending some of their royalty to be with us today in the parade.
Yes, indeed. Next, we have a restored Army Jeep. It is a 1948 Willys Jeep, and driving that is Melvin and Gail McLeod of Trenton. Easy for me to say. Up next is Pearls 2, Eden for Elders in Princeton. Happy to have them in the parade this morning.
And their salute to the veterans. Well, here's a colorful band and always a popular entry at the Missouri Days, if for no other reason than who their band director is. Mr. Jamie Baker directs the Macon High School Tiger Marching Band. Of course, Jamie used to be the Trenton High School band instructor, and he's very familiar with the parade route. Been
Yes,
here
indeed.
before. The auxiliary sponsors, Kelsey Davis, drum major, is Kavi Serapani. The parade music today is Estancia. This is a consistent top place finisher in marching band festivals. So Macon High School out of, Macon, Missouri, Class 3 band.
Glad to have them here this morning.
And as we proceed, the bands are getting larger and larger in numbers of kids who are playing and marching.
And they are looking sharp this morning in their orange and white.
They have a flag corps. Of course, they got banners, and maybe they'll play for us a little bit.
We got great
Good formation. That's always a key.
You can hear the crowd applaud them as they go by.
First band I think I've seen that has white pants.
Yes,
I think that looks very good. Looks sharp.
it is sharp looking.
Back to more regular entries.
This is a 1961 Corvette owned by C&G Noseworthy of Trenton and maintained and driven by veteran Larry Booth of Spickard, and that is a sharp-looking red Corvette there.
Wow. Looks good.
And up next is Century 21 Smith & Associates of Trenton.
Home of the free because of the brave is their slogan.
They're having fun throwing out some Mardi Gras beads there in red, white, and blue. And see, they have family members of the staff there representing World War II, Korea, the Veteran War, Vietnam, Iraq, and Afghanistan pictured on the side of their float. And following them is a patriotic entry by Don Kennedy of Trenton.
I know there's probably something real good on the sayings, on the sides, on the banners, but I'm too far away to read it.
Let's see, it is the Declaration of Independence, the Pledge of Allegiance, and the preamble to the U.S. Constitution.
Now, you're just as far away as I am, but you're a lot younger, so you got better eyesight. There you go.
Anymore, it's not very often that I get called young, so I'm going to take it, John.
John Deere Green.
John Deere Green. This is a tractor entered by Corey Minnis of Chillicothe. It's a 1957 John Deere 720. And following it is another tractor of Corey Minnis's. It's a 1958 John Deere 520.
Reminds me of tractors my dad had. He was a John Deere fan.
And there's just a little tyke driving that second one. And following them is Rick White with White's Motorcycle to new business in Trenton. They have a 1949 Harley Davidson motorcycle there on their float.
Getting ready for another band to come into view as we're into Class 4 of the band competition now. And there should be 5 bands. The first one's out of Smithville. The Warrior Pride Marching Band from Smithville under the direction of Tom Brockman, Assistant Director Mike Everman. Auxiliary sponsors Connie Moog, drum majors Brittany Parmenter and Brett Ruti. The parade music, Malaguena. And these were grand champions at the Northwest Missouri State Homecoming Parade last year in Maryville. So the Warrior Pride Marching Band from Smithville will be the next band to come by here at our location. Green and white. And they've been here before, and they've done very well.
We are very happy to have them back again.
As we are for all the bands that take their time and come here to perform in the parade. And we wish them well when they come here for the auxiliary competitions and field show out at C.F. Russell Stadium. Again, that field show should get underway. The first one's about 11:30, as I recall, out at C.F. Russell. And the awards are tonight at 9 o'clock. So there's a lot of performing between 11:30 and on up to 8:30 or so. And of course, with computers, you can tabulate results fairly quickly. So they'll have some results there, perhaps announced about 9 o'clock. And always a good crowd there to hear the bands, even if you're just there to hear your own school band. There are many people that stay and hear a lot of the bands, too.
Some good performances to be heard out there.
So again, Warrior Pride out of Smithville, Missouri.
And you can definitely tell now that the bands are getting larger and larger.
I believe I saw in some of the promotion the largest band coming today had 169 members. And it ranged down to the smallest at 16.
Wow.
It's all based on school size.
Oh, yeah. And up next in our parade entries is the entry from Salem Baptist Church in Trenton.
Several members, one carrying a cross.
And following that is a float representing Congressman Sam Graves of Tarkio in his bid for re-election to U.S. Senate.
No, Congress. Good-looking pickup there. Another military unit coming along the way.
Representatives from the United States Army Recruiting Office.
They've got the flags galore.
Glad to have them in our parade this morning.
Next band that we will be hearing from is from Center High School of Kansas City, the Mighty Marching Yellow Jacket Band, under the direction of Tyler Osborne, assistant directors Anna Torres, and the drumline instructor Sean Flume. The Sapphires drill team, they have drum majors, and the parade music's Party Rock Anthem. This band last year went to Chicago for the Thanksgiving parade. The Mighty Marching Yellow Jacket Band represents the heart, soul, and center of Kansas City.
And they are having fun as they are making their way down at 9th Street. I do want to note, before this band, we did miss an entry from let their drum line get past. We did miss an entry from Pruitt Deer Processing of Rural Trenton. You're gonna be sure to recognize them too.
And then Harry Wise went by on a scooter.
Oh, there he is. I completely missed him. Yes, state representative candidate Harry Wise from Chillicothe.
John Deere tractor with a two-bottom plow that you don't see much anymore.
No, you do not. That's David Key of Trenton in his 1937 John Deere G. And here is Clark's Plumbing and Heating of Trenton with their Case tractor.
Next band is out of Chillicothe.
Marching Hornets.
Under the direction of Sarah Cavanaugh, assistant director Joe Hull, senior drum major Chelsea Price, sophomore drum major Libby Rule. They have some twirlers. Parade music today is Lady Madonna. They're again participating in the Missouri Day Marching Festival. want to read this. The Chillicothe Symphonic Band has earned 29 consecutive #1 ratings at the State Music Festival.
Congratulations to the Marching Hornets. That is impressive.
They also have an active jazz program, and the Chili Peppers perform at all home basketball games.
They are waiting here in front of us. We have a backup on down 9th Street. So we get to a little music treat. And our next entry in the parade is an entry from Flowers by Sarah in Trenton. And this almost looks like a Rose Bowl parade entry. All the flowers on it.
As we said, we have creative people in our communities.
And following that is the North Central Missouri College Post-Secondary Agriculture Club. Representing the college, they are recently one of the top 6 collegiate programs in the U.S.
Congratulations. The Hangar.
Yes, business entry from the Hangar. This is another new business here in Trenton. It is located at the Eastgate Shopping Center in Trenton.
It's a pickup truck. And float entry after that.
Following them is the entry from the Trenton Church of the Nazarene. And they have got some youth on that one. Both inside the truck and on the trailer.
Also saluting the troops. As we are one nation under God.
As you can tell by the screams from the kids, they're passing out candy.
Mm-hmm.
And here is a float from El Nopal of Trenton.
Got the sombrero there. Looking good. Mm-hmm. Good thing it's not windy today.
Very lucky.
Next band making their way around the corner, and we can hear them play, is Savannah, the Marching Savages, under the direction of Eric Wheeler and Jennifer Prather. Drum majors are Caitlin Schnitker, Bill Vega, and Hunter Bailey. The parade music today is The Dark Knight. And again, this is Savannah High School with the Marching Savages. They too had a long trip over to Trenton today.
Yes, they did. We thank them for making that trip.
Savannah High School in black and white.
impressive formation there as they pass by.
And there's the flag court.
Our next parade entry is Northwest Missouri State University of Maryville, featuring Bobby the Bearcat.
Their mascot. Northwest does have a office on the NCMC campus here in Trenton. Now this mascot is walking,
Yes.
keeping up with everybody. Very good.
And here is Jasper Hansen of Trenton with a 1951 8N Ford tractor. And that baby looks like it's ready to hit the field.
Looks like it's been there a few times too.
Yes.
With all due respect, I'm sure probably has.
Let's see, following that is Dr. Alyssa Hansen of the Green Hills Chiropractic in Trenton, as well as a float next, or not a go-kart. That's a cute entry from Lakeview Restaurant and Motor Lodge in Trenton.
The young drivers there are having fun.
Yes, they are. And let's see. I think that truck might is that also Lakeview? Yeah, I see food made by Allie. Awesome food made by Allie and crew is what that says.
Getting ready for another band to be coming into view. And the next one on the list ought to be Oak Grove High School. The sound of Panther Pride from Oak Grove under the direction of Nathan Long and Beth Jenkins. Color guard choreographers Carly Nance. Drum majors are Jackson Murphy, TJ Whitman, and Marcus Stone. The parade music today is Roar. And the sound of Panther Pride was last year's sweepstakes trophy winner here at the Missouri Day Marching Festival. So they're back to defend their title from Oak Grove.
Yes, welcome back, Oak Grove High School.
A lot of members in it. We'll enjoy when they come through.
They have a lot of members in their flag corps.
And those are impressive flags. Jeanette, I just have to smile. As far as I can see, those are playing members of the band from Oak Grove.
They are almost a block long. Let's see, up next we have...
NCMC Psychology Club, I believe was the sign.
Yes, and see there, that on the trailer there is a Crosley dragster.
Aha.
entered by Scott Keith, and he is probably, I'm going to guess, the Psychology Club
At least sponsor. Yeah.
And here's an entry from Hope Haven New Hope in Trenton.
A recycling location, now with a retail store. Or John Deere Green coming.
That would be a 1947 John Deere B, entered by Carol and Dottie Johnson of Princeton. So we have another little stall in the parade here.
Just going back and remembering in years gone by, we've had many new entries, or at least new people that I've not seen before participate in the parade. Of course, there's more entries than ever this year. That has something to do with it as well.
We definitely welcome all the new entries in the parade too, as well as welcome back all of those from the past. Up next is a business entry from Chillicothe. This is the Fast Lane Family Fun Center in Chillicothe.
Under the management of Rick and Diana Payton from Trenton.
They're passing out fun dips.
Carly get one?
She better. She's going to be in trouble. Fun dips are my favorite.
Okay. I couldn't tell. Awana. The Awanas have an entry next, the youth.
Yes, this is the First Baptist Church of Trenton. One wagon is the Awana Youth Program at the church, while the others include a restored truck owned by Tim Allen. And the final entry is a van of members from the Trenton Church. So the Trenton First Baptist Church being well represented this morning in our Missouri Day Parade.
Here another band off in the distance.
They are making the corner down there.
Members of the Baptist Church at Trenton are handing water out to those that are in the parade, or those that they can reach during the way. I would guess from Main and Crowder all the way to Kerfoot, it's probably a little more than a mile in distance. All the regular entries are supposed to exit out at Kerfoot. The marching bands exit at Normal.
We have a mascot go by, but he might be an Awana's representative. Not entirely sure there. And up next is the Baher family representing the Civil War reenactment of Eastern Kansas.
All right.
Or maybe not. Oh, I bet they're after the band. Because that's another First Baptist Church entry there.
That goes back quite a few years on that older vehicle.
It's an older truck, but it's not listed on their entries here. It must have been a late entry on their part.
Yeah, we were warned, and oftentimes that does occur, and nonetheless, we still enjoy seeing them in the parade.
Very much so.
This is the Liberty North High School Screaming Eagles from Liberty, Missouri. They're under the direction of Shane Fuller. Assistant directors are Brian Hartman and Michael Dragan. Auxiliary sponsor, Amy Hall. They have some drum majors. Their parade music today is Liberty Bell March. Last year here at the Missouri Day Festival, they placed first in drumline. And they've been first this season in field show at Carrollton. And Color Guard also was first at Park Hills Marching Festival. So show appreciation to the Screaming Eagles from Liberty North, Liberty, Missouri, a Class 5 band for the parade, so they'll have a lot of number as well. Again, Liberty North High School with that, which is on my list as the final marching band entry.
And here is the Baher family representing the Civil War reenactment of Eastern Kansas with an authentic military presentation. And they are pulling a cannon.
A real cannon, and all dressed up from Civil War days.
And here's a quote from another new business in Trenton. It's Johnston Rental Center. They have locations in Chillicothe and Trenton now.
Let freedom ring.
That is quite the bell they have on there.
Red, white, and blue bell. Yes.
And behind them is Steve Gonringer of Trenton with his entry, the Swamp Rat.
I can imagine.
And I can't even tell you what that started out being. But it looks like quite the unique combination of vehicles.
One of those that you got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, that's right. Here is Trenton Cinema, owned by Jim and Maggie Bush of Trenton, showing their support of our military.
Kind of a kaleidoscope there, and how wonderful an entry that is.
And as always, it's the Moelia Shrine Club of St. Joe. They're always fun to watch. Their little buggies. Always a favorite for the young and young at heart.
Do. You can imagine how much fun they have at the parade with all the maneuvers they do in the streets.
Yes, and they are fun to watch as well. Let's see, up next we have entries from the 10th Street Baptist Church in Trenton that include their youth program and their general church membership. The pastor there is Reverend Ron Ratliff.
You're listening to the parade coverage here on KTTN FM Trenton, and we're right at just past 10 o'clock by a bit, and we're closing in on the tail end of the parade, I would say, right?
Next up is entry 181, so about 10 more to
go. God bless the troops.
And entry 181 is a tractor entered by Damian Miller of Princeton. This is a 1950 Farmall M International Harvester.
It's another red Farmall.
I think we've had more IH tractors in this parade than we've had John Deere's. Trenton Transit Mix is the entry after that with one of their big mixer trucks.
Robert Day, the owner at Trenton Transit.
Let's see, and then we have an entry by Midwest Propane Gas of Trenton.
Reminding you of other competitions today at the festival. Auxiliary competition beginning now in the high school gymnasium, and the drumline competition starts there at 2:50. No charge for the events in the high school gym. Out at Ciafroso Stadium, getting underway at 11:30, will be the field show, and gates open at 10:30. $5 charge for adults, $3 for children. Students under the 6th grade admitted free. So on behalf of the Marching Band Festival and the Rotary Club and PAR Broadcasting, we encourage you to take in all of the Missouri Day festivities that are going on. See all the concessions, vendors, and flea markers just south of the high school out in the fairgrounds. The Craft Village, it's always a favorite location. It's south of the school and in and around the Rock Barn area.
And then I believe next we have from the Mercer County Fire District in Princeton with one of their tanker trucks. Glad to have them here this morning. And then bringing up the back of the parade is an entry from Freedom of Road Riders from throughout Missouri.
Motorcycle enthusiasts
Supporting motorcycle rights and awareness throughout Missouri.
and they also do some benevolent work as well too.
Yes, they do.
And that's going to be a wrap on our parade today, because we'll be concluding with the police car. What a wonderful parade. I just don't know how to put it into words.